the player you just mentioned. So what's the scoop? What's going on with Jaire?
Very weird situation. Obviously Jaire was a fantastic player. I think in 2019 was his big year. 2020, I believe he ends up getting injured. Don't think too much of it. Stuff happens. And it felt sort of like a Bakhtiari situation. It's like, okay, he'll be back soon. And he just couldn't come back. Constant re-injuries. There was a bit of a flare-up toward the end of last year. A lot of the defensive players, it's hard to know exactly what's going on, but they were very unhappy. There was a little incident with Jaire on the field. He went out and made himself captain when he wasn't supposed to and got suspended for a game. Yeah. But yeah, the comment was that he had to sit down with Gutekunst and they had kind of reassured him that there's going to be some changes. So we thought, okay, training staff was a big issue. They were not happy with the training staff and the defensive coaching staff. They all got fired. So we assumed everything was okay. Well, he gets injured again. And I'm guessing he's unhappy with how this was handled because they strung him along the entire year. He's maybe he's going to play, and he didn't. And 3-4 weeks later, they shut him down for the year. Whereas if they had done that earlier, they could have brought him back, etc. So he's really, really unhappy. The comment that was made is, there's frustration on both sides. But when he left, the media tried to speak with him, and he said, "I've got nothing good to say, and I don't know if I'm going to be back next year." So, there's been speculation. I've tried to kind of stay away from it as far as speculating that he's some kind of a locker room cancer or whatever. I don't like to throw that out there without knowing anything, but it does feel like the frustration has kind of boiled over between Jaire and the team and maybe the team with Jaire, especially, you look at his contract. You can't pay a guy like that who's played maybe 50% of the snaps that he's been on the team since 2019. So it feels impossible that they'd let a guy like that go, but it's starting to look like that's where we're headed.
All right. And would that be a big deal contractually would it be hard to let him go or to trade him?
So, obviously they'd save money, but it's going to be about an $18 million hit.
Okay.
So out of the whole, you end up with costing $6 million less, but it's still going to be $18 million that you're going to have to carry. So it's depending on how you look at it, you're saving money or you're losing a bunch of money. But yeah, that's a big one. It's definitely a big hit.